And I also want to get on the discussion Captain Kabir Malik, who's a chartered airline pilot right now, as he joins us on this edition of the news. Captain, it is a dark day and one of the worst tragedies that you see in the skies. There are still a lot of these questions remaining, but I want you to talk us through this video that we see on our screen, something that has just kind of stuck in our heads. What possibly could have gone wrong?
Hi, good evening, everyone. First of all, I just I offer my condolence with a heavy heart. It is a sad accident for those who lost their lives in the air crash, and it is a sad incident for the member of my family aviation family, as well as I offer my condolence to them with heavy heart. And as you said that what could we see in the picture? As I told you in the earlier this TV interview also, that it's a absolutely power loss of the engine, and because of this it happened. And rest of things we will find out after the investigation, where once we'll get the black box detail, and it's take maybe some time. So right now we can say, and as per my observation, I can say only that there's the loss of both of engine because of it happened. Because as per I know, and I came to know in my knowledge, after the takeoff immediate, the pilot declared the distress call also. And there is aviation 3 distress calls: PAN, Mayday, and SOS. So generally, Mayday it's used whenever some technical problem with the aircrafts. So it is a sound by in the distress situation to inform to the ATC. So it is very much confirmed. ATC also confirmed that they got the distress call Mayday. So I can assume, I can say it's a failure of both of engines.
Oh yes, it is, and even our hearts go out to these families, Captain. But like I said, there are going to be questions that will be asked. But if you just look at this particular video, I want you, with all your experience at hand, to talk us through, these entire moments, because this is one video that is not just stuck in our head. This is one video that possibly could hold a clue up to what really has went wrong. We do know that the Aviation Ministry now has also announced a probe into this, and they say that we will try to ensure that something like this never happens in the future.
Yes, of course. Our aviation minister from the past, from the beginning, they always stress to on the DGCA and even on the airline companies. Always they have to be use all the safety norms before the flight, and all the checks has to be done by the expert engineers. And this obviously the probe is on the way. So we have to wait until unless this thing will not come completely. Yet it is very early to say or judge anything to be on this video also. But as per my observation and another expert also, they are assuming the same, and might be some local weather also maybe the cause of this incident.
I do realize that these are still early times, and maybe not possible to say what really led to this entire tragedy. But let's also bring up more details of what has happened through the day. And I'm just going to request our team to put out those graphics for our viewers to help them understand this, as we will also put out this particular video yet again, because this describes just those moments, in fact, minutes where you see the entire story changing. And this is a takeoff, remember, that happened, but then it did not last for that long. I mean, after a point, you had this flight that was to fly to London. The fuel tank was full, and 80 to 90 tons is the kind of aviation fuel that was on board. Clearly, when something went wrong, this is a twin engine, and the engine could not muster up enough thrust. This is where it stalls for a moment, and you realize something has gone horribly wrong. You see a part of the gear there also very clearly in those images which Shiv was earlier explaining to us. And then at that particular altitude, that is 825 feet, after which you see that stalling takes place and then it continues to descend. Those are the moments that have been captured by CCTV cameras again at a part of that airport. And this then leads to a huge inferno. There is a crash, the crash that is very, very close to that nearby building there, that also creates an impact, the impact that was visible in those pictures, and also in a few students there getting injured, and also a few fatalities. We also have Captain Ishan Khalid, who's a veteran Indian Air Force pilot and ex-airline captain, also joining us. Captain, thank you also for your time. What are your thoughts, your assessment of what we see on our screens?
Okay, so pretty sad day for Indian aviation, Indian people. We lost a lot of people, a lot of lives have been lost, and we would come to know the exact cause only later. Looking at the visuals that you have, one thing is very clear: an aircraft meets and takeoff accident because of just two reasons. One is loss of power, and the second one is loss of lift. While loss of lift is something that could be a byproduct of loss of power or due to weather like wind shear, lower speeds, mishandling, all those things are loss of lift. But loss of power is something which is very rare to happen on both the engines simultaneously. The way we see the aircraft losing power and then going down with both the engines gone, because if there was only one engine loss of power, aircraft would have still climbed up. Coming back to the investigation will definitely have to answer why the landing gear was down, because at that juncture the landing gear was supposed to be going up. Was it left down intentionally, or was it there are pilot may decide to leave the landing gear down if the aircraft is descending or has a wind shear or many such conditions. But in case of loss of power on both the engines, landing gear cannot be taken up, because it is the engine power that is converted into hydraulics and electrics to lift the gear up. So if both the engines have have stopped to produce power, definitely landing gear cannot be taken up. So now we have a situation where there is a loss of power, landing gear is down, and the aircraft is now going into a steady descent. The pilot has only a few actions at that point of time: probably maintain wings level and prevent the aircraft from stalling. Stalling is a speed at which the aircraft becomes unflyable. So you have to fly higher speed than that particular speed. So we come back to the question that when the gear was supposed to go up, why didn't it go up? Was it technically not possible, or was it malfunction? Was it error of action in the cockpit? I do not know. But for sure, aircraft loss of the flight path, desired flight path, happened, and looks very unlikely that it would be contributory due to wind shear or weather phenomena, because visibility was 6 kilometers. We had very good winds, just calm winds, temperature 37 degrees. So we were in all probabilities. I don't see a reason why weather would contribute to such a thing for an aircraft as large as a Dreamliner. Coming back to the accident investigation, a DFDR, CVR would be taken out. Since it is post-accident, it will be a forensic examination of the data that has to be taken out. It will take some time. It won't happen straight away, because the manufacturer needs to come into play. There's UK nationals involved. There are Portuguese nationals involved. Multiple insurance companies involved. So representatives and their lawyers have to sit down, and then the FDR will be downloaded. Okay. Before downloading, it has to be peeled off layer by layer. It is into something like 7 layers, and then the hard disk will be accessed. And thereafter, a copy will be made from the main one, and that copy will be studied, and thereafter we will have an analysis as to what went wrong. I think we have sufficient visual information. We need to correlate with the data in the DFDR.
Okay.
And we will come to a fairly conclusive report. It won't be any kind of a speculation at that point of time. Really sad. Ahmedabad airport has a lot of bird activity. All pilots know it. and it's exactly the place that we are looking at, that the birds could have been ingested. In hot weather conditions, there are a flock of birds which circle around and they keep gaining height at about say 100, 200 feet. That is the place that we could probably think that bird could have been ingested. And these engines are fairly big, Rolls-Royce Trent engines. They are fairly big. They can ingest the bird and still continue to produce residual amount of thrust, which we see. So it will not be like the entire thrust is gone, but there would be substantial loss of thrust. From the look of it, there is no control jam problem because the pilot is maneuvering the aircraft, raising the nose in response to the aircraft descending and speed reducing. So control jam leak seems to be very, very unlikely. So once we have the reason why landing gear was not up, we will have all the stories in line.
Okay, Captain Khalid, that's a fairly detailed response to, I think, a lot of these questions that are being asked. I want to take this opportunity to ask you one more question. This is one of the very first, and I think the first crash only of the 787 with fatalities that we are seeing, considering that this is not a very old aircraft. It has done fairly well. It's considered to be robust. What are the other problems or other issues that we are looking at? And the black box. We do not know whether the black box has been recovered so far or not.
Okay, to educate most of the viewers, the black box the color of the black box is orange. And for the purpose that, it needs to be located even underwater. The black box is into multi-layer to survive any kind of impact, any kind of fire, any kind of underwater living. It can live in there without destroying the data. So it has steel, it has asbestos, it has multiple layers of protection. The black box will tell, black box also nowadays have the CVR, which is called cockpit voice recorder. And they have the data for last 24 hours and last 24 hours of flight. And it's a circular tape that is recorded. So we would be able to get everything from those data. And I think it has already been found out and it has been taken for analysis. Coming to the, what lessons we would learn out of it. If there is a technical problem and causing this, then the whole fleet will need to be grounded. They need to be one manufacturer has to rectify it, thereafter prove the flight, which seems to be a very unlikely thing considering the aircraft has flown over 5 million hours across the world, millions of hours, let's put it, across the world. Fairly proven machine, not a new machine. I don't see a technical problem per se. Bird hit, very likely, and thereafter,
Khalid, like you also said, I think this is something that is pending an investigation because you're looking at the broader picture also now. Now we do recall multiple times that there has been a lot of question mark about Boeing's, their own health. You've seen such instances coming in even from America. Would you want to comment on that?
I would like to comment that, such a large fleet of aircraft to produce, maintain and operate across the world, temperatures exceeding 50 degrees and temperatures lesser than minus 50 degrees, it's a very challenging environment that these machines fly. And they have done a pretty good job in maintaining the flight safety record of 787, not even a single hull loss in last, 2009 onwards. It's to have the first loss. It is a very safe machine, and it is out of the Boeing hand for pretty long time. It is with us to maintain. I don't see a technical issue or a maintenance issue in this one, though that will be an angle that will be looked into. Material failure, engine failure is part of the game, and they would happen. And and we are trained to fight such situations unless there are multiple failures, which nothing can be catered for. Like no airline, no manufacturer can train a pilot to land the aircraft safely with both engine loss. There is no such thing. You have to be as lucky as Captain Sully and as capable of Captain Sully, because Captain Sully had a Hudson River, which was almost like a sea in front of him. and he was able to land the aircraft there with his presence of mind. If you look at the visuals that we have,
Yes.
even Sabrawal has his presence of mind absolutely at the right place. It's just that he doesn't have the water in front of him.
Okay.
He has gone down absolutely controlled. He has, can you imagine, last 10 seconds of the life, he is still trying to fly the airplane?
Okay. All
Which
right,
is,
Captain Khalid and Captain Kabir Malik, I thank both of you gentlemen for your time.